mentioning that Lew Wallace wrote Ben-Hur from Indiana, and that's absolutely true. He did write Ben-Hur. Welcome to the old House of Representatives. He was from 1807 to 1857. During that time frame, they would have discussed every issue, from the issues on slavery, the expansion of the American West, and the issue on states' rights. During that time period, if you had been a member of the House of Representatives, you would have come through the center doorway and have been greeted by Cleo, the Muse of History, and a Simon Willard clock right below that. And a little bit to tell you about Simon Willard, he was like the Rolex of his time. There wasn't probably any too much place in the Capitol that he didn't have a clock. So he was very popular here in the Capitol. On the opposite side, you'll see that there's Liberty. And her right-hand side is the Constitution. She's handing it down to Congress, just so they remember the rules in which they were guided upon. Down below is an American eagle, obviously a long-time representative of our nation. And on the opposite side is a viper, representing the ideals of wisdom. Down below is the burgundy drapery, and the speaker's desk and chair would have been right below that. Now the room itself would have been divided in half by political party. Democrats on one side, Whigs on the other. We're on the Whigs side of the room. Now the Whigs, they got along on a lot of their issues, but there was one issue that deeply divided them. It was over the issue of slavery, and they just couldn't come to terms with it. It literally cracked them in half. And by 1857, half of them going over into the Democrat side of the room, and the other half coming to form their own political party, the National Republican Party. Both of those parties still with us today. Now, to honor those individuals who served here in the House of Representatives and went on to become presidents of the United States, we put plaques in the court in their honor. Right below Father Sanders' feet, you're going to see Abraham Lincoln. Now, he only served here one term, but he did have a 200th birthday this year, and he's looking awfully good for 200, I have to say. And you're going to see that there's Franklin Pierce here. Franklin Pierce, an interesting fellow. He had a bit of a nasty nickname that we probably didn't appreciate. They called him the dough face. And that was kind of a slur. It's kind of not a thing you'd want to be called. It was a way of saying that you came from one place, that you supported or stood for something else. And this was a time in history that where you came from was really representative of who you were. And Franklin Pierce came from New Hampshire. But guess what he supported? Southern rights. It meant that he didn't get invited to all the dinner parties, guys. He was probably the last guy on the list. So he had a tough time. He even recognized the pro-slavery legislation in Kansas that brought us even faster. So he had some tough times here in the House of Representatives. Now the next time we're about to step on